Hey y'all, welcome back to the cheat code. Okay, so we are continuing. This is part two of the favorite Friday lineup that was initiated by Pretty Blind Eyes. I noted her channel in the first reading that I did, and I'll note her channel again. I should actually add a link as well to her channel if you're interested. So if you are coming from the part one, then you know that I did a reading on Drake, on Chris Brown, on Chris Brown's twin, and on Justin Bieber. In Chris Brown's reading, Rihanna's messages came out. So we'll see what happens now. So for this section in part two, we're doing Selena Gomez, Michael B. Jordan, and Rihanna. So we are going to start with Selena Gomez. And again, this reading is alleged and for entertainment purposes only. The messages that I asked for are for the highest and greatest good and intention of all parties involved. So let's hope that we get some clear and concise messages. So we are starting with Selena Gomez. What messages do we have for Selena? So I've already pulled out some cards, so I'm just going to turn them over here. So I have the Knight of Swords. I have the Ten of Wands. I have the Seven of Swords. I have the Star card. I have the Lovers card. I have the Page of Pentacles, and I have the Sun card. So let me just take a moment and see what I get here. So far I'm getting that there is a rush for something. There's a rush to clear something out of the way because there's something that is coming after this something. What is this something? Because I did pull the Lovers card, I feel like it has something to do with a union or a divine union. Yeah, I'm getting just there's a hurry. There's a hurry to move things along because there is something or someone that wants to take what she has. What I'm also getting with the Star card, ordinarily you get things like healing or even star power, referencing, them being in the spotlight. But what I'm getting is I feel like someone is trying to taint her water. And by that, I mean that someone is trying to sabotage her in some way, shape, or form. So I was also being drawn when I was saying that to the numbers. The Star card is the number 17, but for some reason, I was reading it as the number 18. So I can't even remember what the number 18 is in the deck in terms of the major arcana. I haven't read cards in a long time, and even when I do read them, I just read them more, not even intuitively, more as like prompts, as tools of divination versus the actual meaning. Sometimes the meaning helps, but in this case, not really. But I did read it as the number 18, so if you are familiar with that, or I might insert that after the fact. And the number 17 reduces to 8 as well, so it has to do with abundance. So I believe that someone is trying to affect her finances. With the Lovers card, so we have left the Lovers card, the Page of Pentacles, and the Sun. So let me see what I'm getting here. With the Lovers card, again, the imagery is kind of giving me more of, it does give the Adam and Eve story, but it is giving me more of someone trying to separate a divine union rather than allow it to come together. I'm also getting that someone is wishing or manifesting that this union does come to pass and that they are wishing for a happy ending with her. So who this individual is, we can all maybe take a guess, since in listening to Pretty Blind Eyes, we have always heard that she has always picked up that Justin and Selena have a tight bond, that they're soulmates, perhaps even twin flames, and that both of their illnesses and their troubles will be healed once they reunite. So it could be about Justin Bieber. I'm not necessarily getting an exact person, but that's the message that I have for Selena Gomez. So we are moving on to Michael B. Jordan. Okay, so for Michael B. Jordan now, I've pulled his cards. I'm using a different deck. It's still a tarot deck. So let's see what we have here. So we have the Page of Pentacles. We have the Nine of Pentacles. We have the Page of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, a lot of pentacle energy, the Nine of Swords, the Queen of Swords, and we have the King of Swords. Okay, so a lot of earth and air energy. So let's see what we have here. So far, I'm getting that there is a new opportunity that has been handpicked for him by his ancestors. Um, it's an opportunity that's going to help solidify his legacy. I also have the Nine of Swords, the Queen of Swords, and the King of Swords, and those kind of are not contradicting the previous message, but let me take a look and see what these are about. All right, so I'm not sure if Michael B. Jordan is in a relationship. Excuse me. The energy has been very disruptive today, very disruptive. Okay, so I'm not sure if he's in a relationship. I'm not sure if this is a different timeline, if it might be something from the past or something from the future, or even in the present. But I also noticed that the King and Queen of Swords are side by side and they're facing each other. What I was getting is that there's something that he's in his head about. And there seems to be some sort of spiritual intervention. I'm about to say interference. I guess I'll say interference and intervention that is trying to remove whatever he's in his head about. Um, the Nine of Swords being clarified by the Queen of Cups is giving me, I'm going to need another second with this. This is a very interesting read, and I'm not even going to, hold back. The energy was so strong when I was pulling this. I literally felt like I was going to be sick, like literally sick to this, like in my stomach. So let me try and see what's going on here. Okay, so it could be that he's apprehensive about, not apprehensive, that's not the word I wanted to use, but maybe that applies. That he could be worried about his future in terms of a love relationship, wanting to be in a relationship with someone. Is it too late? Is he running out of time? I also channeled clearing energy, that something or someone could be clearing energy, perhaps spiritually, or I don't know in what way. Because I said this message has been very confusing. At least the energy that's been projected on me for this. So yes, something is clearing the energy. And with him facing the Queen of Swords, I feel like two different things. At first, I was feeling that if it is a different timeline and there is someone in his life, it could be someone who is not really talkative, meaning that when they do speak, what they speak is very, I wouldn't say sharp tongued, but it's more like they don't beat around the bush. They just cut right to the chase and they say it like it is. And that might be something that might, get to him, where let's just say, for example, if she's like, yeah, I didn't think you did such a good job in that role, or, I don't really like what you're wearing today. And the person is just being honest and that's just how they speak, that it could really affect him in a negative way. But he might feel like, okay, how much more time do I have? How many more options do I have when it comes to this person? Um, Let me see what else I'm getting here. I'm also getting that he's a very wise person and he's always listening to the guidance that he gets, whether it be from his mother. I get also that he has a lot of luck on his side and there's a lot of protection on his side as well. So I feel like regardless of whoever he ends up with, he's always going to be looked out for. Like his best interest is always going to be looked out for, whether it be spiritual or in the physical realm. His best interest is always just going to be looked out for. That's what I'm getting. So let's see, we still have Rihanna to do. So moving on to Rihanna's message. And I apologize for any noise in the background. All right, so as I had mentioned yesterday when I was doing Chris Brown's reading, there was nothing that came out for him. It was more about Rihanna. And let's see what cards we have for Rihanna. I was getting a lot of interference with that as well. So there might just be some interference over the readings in general, which happens sometimes depending on, the day. Today's the 8/8 portal, so there could be some strong influence to try and not have certain things happening, as there's a lot of manifesting going on. So what we have are the Six of Wands, the Two of Swords, the Three of Wands, the World card. I'll just say the World Cup, the World card. I think they were at the World Cup as well. meaning A$AP Rocky and Rihanna. We have the Nine of Wands, we have the Judgment card, and we have the King of Swords. So let me go ahead and take a look. Just off the bat, I'm seeing a lot of purple and I'm seeing some blue. Purple is the third eye and blue is the throat chakra. So let me take a look. Okay, so we're going to try and make this make sense here. Not forcing it, but there's going to be some sort of victory or something that she's going to overcome. I'm also getting that she's at a standstill or at a crossroads. This could be regarding travel, and it could be travel for her own safety or for her own protection, in order for her to be safe, I'm getting. And I get that she's also aware of that being the case. It also is going to allow for her to have a clearer mind or to get some answers to something that she needs to resolve. The 21 is also standing out to me, reducing to 3, which is mind, body, soul, but the 2 is balance and the 1 is new beginnings. So it could bring that for her as well. With the 9 of Wands, that's the wounded warrior. And she did go through the incident with the person who released some ammunition at her home. With the Judgment card and the King of Swords, I'm going to need a second with that to see what I'm getting. I think I'm going to need some clarification on the King of Swords, but I'm getting that she is like the protector of her family. She's basically the one who's making a lot of the decisions about her family and feels like the most responsible for the protection of her family. With the King of Swords, that's where I'm kind of getting thrown off. At first, I was getting a little bit of a protective energy, at least verbal protective energy from A$AP Rocky. It's kind of giving a little bit of the part 1 of the reading, but I'm just going to clarify what the King of Swords is. Okay, so someone needs to speak up about reciprocation. I get that she's also almost like the man of the house to an extent, but I feel also I'm getting like a little bit of A$AP Rocky energy, kind of like he is speaking. I don't know how else to say this, but almost like he's speaking out of turn. It's almost like he feels like I'm the man of the house, but really Rihanna's actions and moves are really more dictating that she's the man of the house, so to speak, meaning just the traditional type of roles in terms of, I guess maybe, I think there was some sort of discussion that he does pay bills and he does take care of like the expenses and things, but at the end of the day, she is the breadwinner and she has provided him a lot of opportunities just being together. With the Knight of Cups, it's like, I'm getting that she wants more poured into her than what she might be getting right now. With the Judgment, as I mentioned, because she's the protector and she's basically looking over the family, that she needs to be poured into too, because she has a lot on her plate. At the bottom of the deck, I have the 4 of Pentacles that I mistook for the King of Pentacles, and I don't know why I did that. I guess because that card, the depiction is of someone wearing a crown holding a pentacle, but I feel like it just escaped me. Give me a second. I'm getting 2 messages that she's a bit overprotective of her family and her family's image and just anything pertaining to her to her family. Also her finances, being very careful of her finances. I'm hearing something about like a prenuptial agreement, just someone holding on to their funds or making sure that their funds are secure. Let me see what else, because it seems like there's a lot coming from just this one card, and the bottom of the deck is usually what's not seen, what's unknown. So let me see what else I'm getting here. I think she's trying to secure the future for her children, make sure that her children are safe and secure, and also she could be pregnant or expecting another baby, or I guess she could be planning to have another baby. So she wants to make sure that she's protected. That could have something to do with the move and her being the man of the house and really taking her protection a lot more seriously. I'm being guided to look at the bottom of the deck for the other tarot deck. It's a 7 of Swords. Yeah, the Thief again is showing up. So I feel that she feels like something can be taken from her, or she could miss out on something, or maybe someone could break into her home again. There's some sort of energy of her feeling like something could be taken from her. That's all I'm getting right now. So this is the last of the reading. So of all the I guess the Friday lineup that Pretty Blind Eyes would do. So thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know if you want me to keep doing these readings, and we'll get a little bit deeper instead of just doing them, as a collective. We'll do them one by one and we'll delve a little bit deeper. So I hope you enjoyed, and thank you for tuning in to the Cheat Code.